Oh, well, hello, hello, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome and super duper happy to have you here for the North American Scrims PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. For those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm RedEyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt-kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And we got 4 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way. And let's go ahead and get into some of these teams. We got One Piece B, Floby, Team Coda, La La Land, AWO, Zero Monkeys, No Toxic, Los Tia Paula, Ilagales Love, Falabi and Punjai, 412 Love, Golo and Golo, Vare, Semper Fidelis, Army of Pain, The Handsome Silence, Yo Unicorns, X-Union, Dropkick Murphys, these are Lorne Besties, Sideways, Step Bros, Frijoles, Original Gang, Galaxis, Four Potencias, Bonnie and Clyde, Control, No Quema Monkeys, At Lovers, Fearless, Please Be Gentle, The Goats, The Lycans, Freedom Beat, and Panrito. That is a lot of teams on the board, so I'm expecting nothing but action right off the bat. And here we are going to be kicking things off with, you guessed it, the very first map ever introduced into the game. I am, of course, speaking about Erangel, the off-bred love child of Sanhok and Miramar. I say that because it's the perfect middle ground between those two extremes, which leaves it fairly reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we actually end up getting. So with that being said, we see we're not working with the most centralized flight path, but by all means, it's not a terrible one. It's going to leave the participants with plenty of options to choose from. And right away, we're getting some early jumpers here. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we've got members of Team 16, pardon me. This is going to be the likes of Semper Fidelis jumping northbound alongside CTX and potentially the members of Yo Unicorns. And I think that we're going to go ahead and have to tune into that to start things off, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and everyone's just trying to get looted early on. This always kind of used to throw me off, this lack of sound in the air. But once you become a little bit more acquainted with the little bits of PUBG Mobile that kind of make it unique here, you tend to just go with the flow. But oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, look at this zone. Our participants are just cringing and absolutely just spitting right now at this flight path. It is going to leave over 50% of the zone occupied by water, which is going to leave lesser and lesser drop options for our participants and lesser room to choose from as they migrate southbound into zone. So that means we could be due for some earlier altercation. And even if that isn't the case, ladies and gentlemen, even if we don't get that early game confrontation, you know what I always say is a more passive early game always translates to an action-packed and climactic mid or end game. But it does look like we have something happening here in the board as Eternal going off. It's Phoenix and Cloud, and it looks like they've already got a takedown on a member of No Quemaka. At this point, C-Bum is naded right out of the equation, and boom goes the dynamite all too literally. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to mess with that map scene. For some reason, I did not switch over. That is a rookie mistake. Won't happen again. It's my first time casting, apparently. Be easy on me. Well, I hope everyone's having a happy Valentine's Day. And while we got a little bit of downtime, I just want to go ahead and say thank you all for being here and coming in and tuning into the YouTube. If you don't mind, please do like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, here we have the Yo Unicorns, I believe. Oh, yes, Yo Unicorns here up against the likes. There's a lot of different team coordinate colors that I've never seen here, as there's 40 teams. But it looks to me it's going to be Luna and Hell Murph. And they're going to be working for Team Dropkick Murphy here. And they're not far off from the altercation. We can already see Murph readily equipped with that famous UMP 45. And I think, you know, ever since that recent buff, we have seen time and time again how that UMP has just turned into an absolute CQC annihilator. And I'm curious to see if he's going to get the opportunity to utilize that in that close quarter confrontation. But let's go ahead and take notice. Further northbound, we can also see members of, I guess this is going to be Cloby, alongside the oppositions of Los Tia Paula. And it looks to be either Folabi or X-Union here. We're going to go ahead and just briefly switch over to their perspective, just in case their rotation eastbound actually ends up in any altercation. It doesn't seem that they're that preoccupied with the migration at the moment. Perhaps we will go tune all the way to the western front here, where things are clearly not all quiet. One moment. All right, my apologies there. For some reason, I can't see the chat feed. Something must be going on with that on my end, but we're not going to waste any time, ladies and gentlemen. We got so many players here, so many contestants on the board that is just going to be non-stop action once this ball gets going. We're going to reach probably, I'm going to say, a guesstimate of about halfway through the match zone before we enter that all-out bloodbath warfare era, is what I'll call it. But until then, we do have little bits of downtime, and that really is to be expected on larger maps. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, larger maps are going to be 3 out of the 4 maps that we're working with today, so you can expect to have these bits of downtime, pockets of silence, bits of in-betweeness. But as I said at the beginning of the match, a more passive early game, more action-packed and climactic mid or end. Open. All right, well, lots of downtime here. Surprisingly, we're just not having that much altercations, but as I said, it looks like the Yo Unicorns have gone in and acquired their second kill, as Winner does get the thirst, but in the process is taken down to about a little bit above half health. Luckily, they don't really have any altercations to worry about for quite a ways, but you know who does, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be Team 7, the likes of AWO. They are... Oh, pardon me. It's actually going to be... There's so many great... It's going to be Eternal. There's a lot of monkeys, I suppose. Monkeys. Team Monkeys. I'm going to stop trying to say their team name, and I'm just going to go say the player's name, because there's so many similar color coordinates here. It's almost impossible. So, I think we're going to go maybe... back upward bound if he does not engage. It looks like they're going to be taking the coastal route as they migrate northbound. All the while, Silence putting a little bit of work off in the distance. It's Imperador and Dagas, and they are up against the immediate threat here of JP-47, and boom, taken out real quick, AK-47 for the finish. Well, no time to waste. Ladies and gentlemen, we also can see further northbound, around the northwestern quadrants of the map, we're catching eyes on the likes of Golo and Gola, and they are right up here in the mix against the potential altercation with La Berlinetta. Well, Kintang trying to fire outward with that UMP-45, getting no successful connecting hits, unfortunately. Gonna be a little bit hesitant here as he holds this high ground over the opposition. Whether or not they're going to stick around for it is yet to be seen. It doesn't look to be the case. So for now, we're going to go rotate a little further off to the side where Galaxy's Raven and Saint looks like they're going to be trying to dip southbound, get a position of early real estate here, and get away from the altercation. So not going to amount to much on that quadrant. I am shocked at how slow of a start the action pace has been here, and I'm not disappointed by any means. It means that we're going to be left with all-out simultaneous bloodbath here as we move forward. But keep an eye. We got E6 going after Hustling off in the distance. All the while, the Galaxy crew, oh, they have more Galaxy members. I see the confusion as Yanis and Smiley here face off against the immediate threat of One Piece B. And as you can see, Smiley has already been taken down. It's going to be a quick knock, leaving everything riding on Giannis and Giannis alone to carry on the team name. All right, firing outward with that UMP Scar-L combo, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle of patience here, just holding the position for the brief time, waiting for the opportunity to present itself. Here it comes. Oh, unfortunately for him, that brief moment of just gun swapping was all it took for the opponents to capitalize. And that's all it takes in PUBG Mobile sometimes. Every brief millisecond can be the difference maker between life and death. I'm curious, where should we be tuned into? Perhaps we'll go have an eye on the likes of Army of Pain. They are just looming above the immediate threat of Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde looks to be holding down the bridge position, anticipating some bridge crossers for sure. Maybe a camping position, but as a solo, as a duo team, ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember each team here has a lot less firepower, a lot less gunpowder in their favor. So you're going to have to see a bit of a change in adaptation in tactics. Maybe, perhaps the idea would be to dial things back from an all-out aggressive standpoint to, I don't want to say a passive approach, but perhaps a more reserved tactic, so to speak. Well, getting eyes on One Piece B. They are up here against the immediate altercation of the Step Bros. Step Bros doesn't seem too eager to push themselves out in open territory. They don't want to present themselves as an opportunity to One Piece, but they definitely don't want to let One Piece just advance on both sides simultaneously. They don't want to be closed in. All right, catching eyes on Saint. He's going to dip out of dodge with the vehicle, try to pull a rotation, weigh his options, and say, you know what? Honestly, we got plenty of time ahead of us. Let's try to at least secure some placement before we start prioritizing kills. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this new zone, absolutely preposterous to the participants and great for us, the viewer, because even more so limiting the land coverage here. With this much water, it's going to further limit where our participants can occupy. So we're going to be left with even fewer places to choose from and even higher probabilities of early fights. We're only in stage 2. All right. Well, Electra of Team Coda not really going to engage against the passing threat of Yo Unicorns. Just weighing the options. A lot of people playing the patience game, and it's understandable why, because we still have 28 teams remaining here on the board. All right, with Foxy just across the roadway from members of One Piece, it's going to have to be a bit of a calculated exit here. Either they're going to have to pull a rotation or take on some form of altercation with these guys before putting out in that open situation. The problem with that is, however, that One Piece B is holding a nice high ground position. They have a nice overwatch over not just the entirety of the bridge, but they don't really have much trouble catching a line of sight on Yo Unicorns. I don't think it would be able to amount to a thirst, but the damage can be done. The knocks can be done. You can deplete their resources, their armor, and make them use up their weapons. It still has a purpose. I keep thinking that's Team 20, but it is not. There's so many new colors here. We're catching eyes on members of Team 41. This is Freedom B, and they're not far off from a threat of, I believe, Army of Pain. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything just yet. Switching attention back over Team 8, Zero Monkeys, as they try to pull a vehicle rotation by their opponents in Step Bros. You can see Clot here, ready and waiting. 4x M4, it's a quick takedown. Nice spray, nice recoil control. And yep, Saint is out of the equation. And here we go. That's going to leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture and escape here using the vehicle, but ooh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And too little, too late. And it's going to go to 2 kills on the board for Zero Monkeys. Got a lot of congestion here on the more central portion of the zone, just in front of the western bridge. As we can see, members of One Piece B still engaging in this somewhat of a distance altercation with Yo Unicorns just across the way. Last Dance taking quite a bit of damage there. As we have seen me quote time and time again from the scripture of Fast and the Furious. As Vin Diesel says, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And unless you get that knock and get that thirst to follow, it's almost as if it never happened at all. So we're going to switch our attention potentially. Wow, this is just a bit more of a reserved start that I've ever seen to a duo event. So I think I'll stay here where members of One Piece hold this high ground over Yo Unicorns. Next kill we see in the kill feed is going to get the attention for sure. Well, we got members of AWO just underneath the looming threat of Eternal. As you can see, Lidi and Fakil pushing up. Fakil is in the vehicle for an aggressive push on a weakened Phoenix of Eternal Gaming. And Phoenix is going to need to be prepared, ideally with some heals. He is able to heal up in time, but not in time enough to face off against an S12 shotgun. And boom, one shot, one knock, you're out of there. Now, this zone is anything but ideal for the participants. They are cringing. And with 45 people still up, there's so much action ahead of us. Wolfie of Team 17, which is, of course, Army of Pain. Wolfie, 1999, trying to weigh the options. Her teammate has fallen and not like to be saved in this situation. So trying to dip out of dodge, try to carry on the team name, get some placement points on the board at the very least. Ooh, just in front of them, their opposition in Freedom B, which I guess is WNG, just trying to escape their clutches in this buggy. Having a little bit of trouble with the driving, as we all have from time to time. By the way, if you are watching on Twitch, please be aware that this event is only casting the first of 4 matches on Twitch, after which everything is going to be moving directly over to the YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're not already, if you are in the Twitch chat, !YouTube will pull up the link. I would prefer that you already migrate over there just for now, so we can have everyone there ready and waiting. Catching eyes on members of 412 above. We got Ray. He is the last remaining hope here for the team. And fairly close in proximity to Team 23, Duita Gede. You guys love to stump me with your team names. Catching eyes for a brief moment, I guess, to Los Tiapuala. Yep, they are getting closer and closer in proximity to AWO. And actually potentially sandwiching themselves in a peanut butter and screwed sandwich between AWO and the likes of the Zero Monkeys. A little bit of space on both sides here. All the while, not far off, the Lycans. We can see Moon pulling a rotation vehicle of his own here. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, a 1-1 split in a duo tournament, it comes with certain advantages and certain disadvantages. The advantage is that you're not going to both be taken out in the same spray quite as likely, but you're not quite as able to assist your teammate in the case that he is attacked. So is it worth it to do this kind of split? I think that varies on a case-by-case contextual basis. All right, see Faith of Lycan firing downward at members of Semper Fidelis. This is Galaxy Glacier teaming up with an amazing husband Hog, and it does look to be a quick takedown via vehicle explosion, and a quick thirst to follow suit is very likely there. Faith taking a little bit of retaliatory hits, brought down to just above half health, but still looking in a fairly comfortable position. Now, whether or not they are aware of the looming threat of Cloby, Team 4, or potentially the distant threat of Team 10, Los Dia, is yet to be seen. One thing is for sure, Faith does need to account for some healing right here and now. Looks like silence going off in the distance. And now, for a brief moment, if not only for a moment, we have a little bit of downtime. Emperador holding position, ready and waiting on the bridge for the looming threat of Team 11, which is Ilegales. still a little bit outnumbered there. One Piece having a bit of a tough go as well, as Last Dance is taken down, leaving it riding on Man to stick that revive while simultaneously overwatching and cover firing, and it looks like he was able to do so successfully. Man now is trying to retaliate against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, that's going to put us in a 1v1 standoff here with Jasa and his opposition in X-Man of One Piece. Ooh, we got some sneaky water snakes catching eyes on Kloby here. And Kloby pulling a sneaky little Michael Phelps tactic as they try to navigate a way around Los Tia, Team 10. Tia also in the waterway, not like to be able to retaliate. And a breath of fresh air for the participants, ladies and gentlemen, as the final ending zones start to orient themselves around the military base region. A little bit of a breathing space here for them. Well, Team Coda has been reduced to half its starting lineup here, as Electra is left to carry on the team name, all the while Skull being taken out by that kid off in the distance. E9, that kid, putting the smackdown off in the distance, but I'm not sure which team that is. Either way, we're going to switch our attention briefly back to Freedom B. They're not far off at all in proximity against their opposition in Lorne Besties. Lorne Besties, two-piece of Minami and Tryout. You see Minami ready and equipped with that UMP-45, awaiting that inevitable push, and it looks like it's going to be a quick little parkour, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. Ooh, X-Men does take out his opposition across the bridgeway off in the distance. Lots of action here on the board. That's going to... I've noticed Clone of Team Kloby has been downed, which is going to leave everything riding on Gabby, who has very little in terms of health here, and no way of retaliating onto the opposition in this water. So the options being limited is an understatement here. Their final saving grace could be in the case that members of Team 16, which is, of course, Semper Fidelis, pull up behind them. A little bit of space, though. Wow. 4 kills going to Freedom B, and it's all to CACO3 here. You see him with that Honey Badger M4 combo. And, oh my gosh, just dishing out the damage, but ultimately finding himself outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned against Lorne Besties. Well, Illegales putting some shots onto the oncoming threat of Zero Monkeys and taking them both out. They hop out of the BRDM and he 1v2s. Oof. Well, Illegal now finding himself victim to what is called the infamous third party. It looks to me like Golo and Gola heard that shots off in the distance, and like sharks in the water, they smelled the blood and came to pick off what remained. Doesn't look like they were successful in acquiring that thirst, but boy, keeping the pressure on them out of the frying pan and into the fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only one team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get to their positioning here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys, and it looks like Monkeys dishing out a little bit more accurate of retaliation. And that's going to leave everything riding on Rapunzel and Rapunzel alone, with a little bit of high ground here and an M4 UMP new meta combo. It could be an opportunity to catch him unawares. However, the looming threat in the distance of Eternal, still something to keep an eye out for. Eternal Laser, I guess they're going by the name Team Monkeys here, not to be confused with Zero Monkeys. Laser taking quite a hit, and yep, downed. That's going to leave Drippy and Drippy alone, and he is quite a ways away from his teammate, not like to be able to help out and revive. and potentially facing a little bit of a low ground disadvantage against the opposition in Illegales. Well, he's going to try to smoke his way to his fallen teammate, see if he can be the hero. He wants Enrique Iglesias to sing that song in the background. He wants to stick that revive, but can he do it? I'm not sure. One thing is for sure, however, we are going to catch eyes on Lauren Besties, which is Minami and Tryout. Already name. We see Minami high ground spraying and yes, it is going to be quick work. Well, looky here. Gola and Gola have found a way to migrate just onto the eastern outskirts of zone and do some damage to the opposition across the entire field here. On the opposite side, just outside of zone, which is Team Fearless, Veli and Gil. At this point, Gil has been knocked. Veli desperately trying to revive the fallen teammate, and it looks to be so successfully. They still have a little bit of time to work their way into zone, but as you notice, ladies and gentlemen, this zone is a relentless and unforgiving one with not a single compound to utilize for cover. And this is kind of when it boils down to really having the experience and knowing how to utilize your utilities effectively and what resources you can use for cover in that situation. I am, of course, talking about geographical dips and divots and hills, but also the obvious, the abundance of smokes and maybe even carrying a vehicle to expose for cover in the in-game zone. It could be the difference maker in between life and death in this situation. Well, Pindaboy, 4X, Star L, trying to catch an eye on Fearless, not really able to get much connection here. I'm firing away at Gilly and Villy. I apologize if I missaid that name. All right, no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Veli, currently sandwiched in a bit of a conundrum here. There's not really any safe spots here, but being stuck in between Lauren Besties, just like that, and then ultimately taken out with a caught unawares by Gola and Gola. It's a tough one, but the nature of a duo tournament, it's a fast pace. Switching my attention directly over to At Lovers, that kid firing outward with the M4. Also notable that he has the drum barrel on a Groza. So in a CQC altercation, he is a very formidable threat here. All right, guys, we're down to our final 3 teams, our 5 people. We've got members of Lauren Besties, At Lovers, and I believe Gola and Gola to conclude round 1. That kid putting out a couple preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, I guess, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke, but I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which was, of course, the Lauren, and clearly not, as he was eliminated in the process. Well, 2 teams remain, the Lauren Besties and Gola and Gola. It's a 2v2, a fair fight in round 1. As I say it, I feel like I have almost cast or cursed him, as Tryout is knocked, leaving everything riding on Minami and Minami alone, desperately trying to get over to the fallen teammate and stick a revive before the looming push that would come from Gola and Gola. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick work there to finish it, and any way that you look at it, that is game over. We have got to give it up to the likes of Golo and Gola. They're going to be securing first place with a very, very healthy, 3 kills going to Pindaboy. My apologies, I didn't mean to loop that. Woo! If I only had a brain. All right. Well, the Lauren Besties are going to be securing second this time around with 4 kills, 2 per person. Everybody eats. We got Ilea and that kid grabbing third with 3 kills, both of which come from that kid. Veli and Gil in fourth with 1. We got the Old Gang securing 5th place with 3 kills. Rapunzel and Illegal of Illegales securing 6 with 4 kills, 3 of which coming from Illegal. We got Eternal Laser and Drippy in 7th with 1 kill from Drip. One Piece is going to be securing 8th with 4 kills, 3 of which go to X-Men. Lycan in 9th. The Lycan's in 9th with 3 kills, 2 of which go to Moon. We got Galaxies, Glacier, and Hog in 10th place with 1 kill from the HOG, the Hunter of Gunmen himself. We got 412 securing 11th with 2 kills from Ray Ray. Oh, my goodness. Lots of different sources here. Silence, I believe, or at least members of the clan Silence, 12th place, 3 kills. Clot and Azen in 13th with 5, 4 of which go to Clot. We got a man who needs no introduction. Metalcore and Electra grabbing 14th. Unfortunately for them, 0 kills to speak of. FD in 15th with 4 kills, both of which go to CAC. We got Richt and what's his name in 16th with 1 kill. Clone and Gabby in 17th with 0. 18th going to V2. 19th to INF with 8. Wow. 8 kills between TD and Faquilas. NT securing 20th with 2 kills from Rekka. Now, as we all know, it would take literally double the amount of time to go over the remainder of everyone's scores, but we will be doing live scoring updates, ladies and gentlemen, as this progresses. I'm going to go ahead and open this up just to check in on it. Yep, it looks like it is all still being scored here. So we're going to take a brief intermission, and then we've seen our participants on the very first map ever of Erangel, but I am curious what's going to happen when we take these little love bugs, these duos, to the wide open arid desert. I am, of course, speaking about Miramar as we return for round 2 of 4 of the PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick work. I have found a way to migrate just onto the eastern outskirts of zone and do some damage to the opposition across the entire field here. On the opposite side, just outside of zone, which is Team Fearless, Veli and Gil. At this point, Gil has been knocked. Veli desperately trying to revive the fallen teammate, and it looks like the last dance is taken down, leaving it riding on Man to stick that revive while simultaneously overwatching and cover firing, and it looks like he was able to do so successfully. Man now is trying to retaliate against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only one team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get their positioning here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys, and it looks like Monk preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, I guess, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke, but I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which was, of course, the Lawrence, and clearly not eliminated in the process. It could be an opportunity to catch him unawares. However, the looming threat in the distance of Eternal is still something to keep an eye out for. Eternal Laser, I guess they're going by the name Team Monkeys here, not to be confused with Zero Monkeys. Laser taking quite a hit, and yeah, downed. Gonna leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture and escape their YouTube vehicle, but ooh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And two, Lidi and Fakil pushing up. Fakilas in the vehicle for an aggressive push on a weakened Phoenix of Eternal Gaming. And Phoenix is going to need to be prepared, ideally with some heals. He is able to heal up in time, but not in time enough to face off against an S12 shotgun. And boom, down. All the while, Silence putting a little bit of work off in the distance. It's Imperador and Dagas, and they are up against the immediate threat here of JP47, and boom, taken out real quick, AK-47 for the finish. Switching attention back over teammate Zero Monkeys as they try to pull a vehicle rotation by their opponents in step rows. You can see Clot here, ready and waiting. 4x M4, it's a quick takedown. Nice spray, nice recoil control. This for sure, however, we are going to catch eyes on Lorne Besties, Minami and Tryout. Already their name. We see Minami high ground spray. And yes, it is going to be quick work. Well, Veli currently sandwiched in a bit of a conundrum here. There's not really any safe spots here, but being stuck in between Lorne Besties just like that, and then ultimately taken out with a caught unawares by Gola and Gola. You see him with that Honey Badger M4 combo. Oh my gosh, just dishing out the damage, but ultimately finding himself outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned against Lorne Besties. All right, firing outward, that UMP Scar-L combo, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle of patience here, just holding the position for the brief time, waiting for the opportunity to present itself. Here it comes. Oh, unfortunately for him, that brief moment of just besties. All right, well, Illegales putting some shots onto the oncoming threat of Zero Monkeys and taking them both out. They hop out of the BRDM and he 1v2s. Oof. All right. The fate of Lycan firing downward as members of Semper Fidelis. This is Galaxy Glacier teaming up with an amazing husband Hog, and it does look to be a quick takedown via vehicle explosion and a quick 38 against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick work. I have found a way to migrate just onto the eastern outskirts of zone and do some damage to the opposition across the entire field here. On the opposite side, just outside of zone, which is Team Fearless, Veli and Gil. At this point, Gil has been knocked. Veli desperately trying to revive the fallen teammate, and it looks to the last dance is taken down, leaving it riding on Man to stick that revive while simultaneously overwatching and cover firing, and it looks like he was able to do so successfully. Man now is trying to retaliate against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only one team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get to their positioning here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys, and it looks like Monk preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, I guess, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke, but I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which was, of course, a Lorne, and clearly not he was eliminated in the process. It could be an opportunity to catch him unawares. However, the looming threat in the distance of Eternal is still something to keep an eye out for. Eternal Laser, I guess they're going by the name Team Monkeys here, not to be confused with Zero Monkeys. Laser taking quite a hit, and yeah, downed. Gonna leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture an escape here, using the vehicle, but ooh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And two, Lidi and Fakil pushing up. Fakil is in the vehicle for an aggressive push on a weakened Phoenix of Eternal Gaming. And Phoenix is going to need to be prepared, ideally with some heals. He is able to heal up in time, but not in time enough to face off against an S12 shotgun. And boom, down. All the while, Silence putting a little bit of work off in the distance. It's Imperador and Dagas, and they are up against the immediate threat here of JP-47, and boom, taken out real quick, AK-47 for the finish. Switching attention back over, teammate Zero Monkeys, as they try to pull a vehicle rotation by their opponents in step rows. You can see Clot here, ready and waiting. 4x M4, it's a quick takedown. Nice spray, nice recoil control. This for sure, however, we are going to catch eyes on Lorne Besties, which is Minami and Tryout. Already name. You see Minami high ground spray with and yes, it is going to be quick work. Well, Veli currently sandwiched in a bit of a conundrum here. There's not really any safe spots here, but being stuck. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back with round 2 of 4. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to round 2 of the PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. And we're kicking it off, as you guessed it, that dry, open, arid desert. I'm, of course, speaking about Miramar. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Miramar? Essentially, it's the largest map that we have in the game. Technically, Erangel is the same size, being an 8x8, but that includes all the water, those bodies of water on Erangel. So realistically, this is going to be the largest map that we have, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other just going to be a bit slimmer. It's also going to be the most open, meaning that the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away just exponentially higher. So you need to be alert of your immediate surroundings and your distant surroundings as well. And the third and final thing, this map is just so huge, it finds itself almost entirely reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we end up getting. And here you can see it's actually one of the most ideal paths. This route from Campo Militar down to this Los Higos prison range, it doesn't look to be, you know, the most ideal at first glance, but this is a Miramar contextually specific situation, as this route takes you between two strings of compounds and cities on either side. And so it's leaving with our participants with just an abundance of drop options. But while we have a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look-see at the live scoring. Well, Golo and Gola taking home that first place gold medal, but ultimately finding themselves tied with the Lorne Besties at 13 points, trailing just 2 points behind. It's going to be the At Lovers with 11. 2 points behind them is Ilegales with 9. Fifth place going to OGs with also tied at 9. And here you can see AWO putting a lot of emphasis on the kills for sure. So definitely going to get 8 on the board with them, but they're going to need more than that. It's also going to take a little bit of finessing. Placement and is all good and stuff, but ever since that new scoring system has been implemented, PUBG Mobile is trying to move the esports scene towards a stage that's sort of reflective of a game that's been around for 5 years, understandably. The heal strat in, you know, Sanhok, it is a tactical purpose, but, you know, we want to see a lot of that confrontation. We want to see our participants out for blood here. Well, catching eyes on Yo Unicorns, there we got Winter and Foxy just beneath the looming threat here. So many new colors. I guess this is going to be the likes of Team 30. Of course, the Galaxis. And as you can see, Giannis and Smiley just trying to get properly looted before engaging in the altercations. But off in the distance, we are hearing some bullets being fired. Not sure between who. Important to note, we have a lot of potential altercations here on the board. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is round 2. Now let's see. Curious where to devote my attention to here. next bit of action that we see on the board, I'll definitely move outward towards there. But I think we're going to start by catching eyes on members of Team 4. This is, of course, the likes of Cloby. Cloby finding themselves uncomfortably close to their opposition in Team 5, which is, of course, Team Coda. We see Gabby ready and waiting with the AK-47 Uzi combo, finding herself almost entirely reliant upon close-quarter combat weaponry. Probably more so out of necessity than preference, but does find that UMP. All the while, the Lorne besties going off in the distance. We're going to catch a brief eye on the Lorne besties here. Well, we're going to try. Oh, never mind. Galaxis utilizing some nades off in the distance. My apologies. Lorne, it's hard to find a particular team out of a list of 40 here. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother trying to find it that way. There's 50 more efficient ways of doing it. But we are left with a surprising moment of downtime. A little bit of a stale moment. And as I say it, that stale moment is cut short as Galaxis Smiley is taken down. All the while, we see the Yo Unicorns trying desperately to stick revives. Foxy is able to be revived, all the while getting a breath of fresh air and unintentional third-party assistance from the likes of Army of Pain. Yeah, well, it is going to be a takedown there. And yes, just like that, CAC acquiring his first kill, all the while his teammate, Jatu, approaching, readily and waiting with that UMP M4 combo. Oh, a member of Overall Giant taken out by Aquiles. All the while, Aizen taking out Carito. Aizen of Zero Remorse, I believe. So there is action here on the board. Little bits of space in between them, as you can see. They're currently sandwiched in between... V2 is currently sandwiched in between several members here. Pardon me, that is not V2. Very tough when these colors are so similar. Where are we going to tune into? Yep. All right, we'll go to Hacienda, I suppose, where Gil has been able to take out one of the members of the opposition. It's going to leave everything riding on Perlita for Team 24, La Perlineta. All right, well, CAC finding himself in a bit of a conundrum here. Not too far away from the opposition. They do look to be distracted. As Galaxis Smiley desperately trying to revive Giannis, his fallen teammate, before a potential incoming threat from Silence. It doesn't look like Silence is going to take advantage of that with a in-person push. It looks like it's going to be some utilities trying to make it rain hellfire on the opponent. Well, off in the distance, AWO has eliminated the threat. What about the man himself, Mr. Metalcore and Miss Electra? Well, they find themselves with a nice little high ground advantage over members of the Eternal Clan. Their team name is apparently the Handsome. Metalcore firing behind himself. I'm assuming to maybe bait out the Handsomes. I'm not sure, but as you can see, Phoenix cooking up a utility here while Clout fires outward down there. Oh my goodness, and it looks like off in the distance, their clanmates, a different team with Eternal Laser on it, having a bit of a conundrum as Eternal is taken down, or Eternal Laser is taken down. And Drippy soon to follow. Well, Clot and them gonna go ahead and finish the job right then and there, and it's gonna be 2 additional kills on the board for a total of 4 for Team Zero Monkeys. And again, my apologies for the little bits of hesitation in between team switching, ladies and gentlemen. This is Duo events, as you well know, in PUBG Mobile esports are few and far between. So my acquaintance with color memory is, team colors, very minimal after the first 20 teams. But Illegales, legal, eliminating the threat right here and there. M4 to finish the job. M4 Vector combo. Double tack stalking. Ooh, Eternal's Phoenix going off in the distance. And their altercation with the likes of Lorne Besties. And unfortunately for the Besties, they are out of the equation, with Phoenix responsible for all 4 of the team's kills. Emperador, the final remaining member for Silence, finding himself just trying to let the time dwindle, not trying to bring too much attention to himself, and it's understandable as to why. He's got the looming threats of not just members of AWO, INF, pardon me, but he's also got the FD crew just beneath him. That's going to be CAC and Jatu. In a situation where you find yourself outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned, you don't want to present yourself on an easy platter to your opponents. You don't want to be giving up any easy kills. Oh, Jatu looks like he's going to be pushing the rotation here around the back end of the building, maybe even a wide rotation to catch him unawares, but time will tell. All right, so I will give this vote up to the Twitch chat. Would you rather... Well, I kind of want to direct it to YouTube. Maybe we'll decide it after match 2, whether to keep it a dual platform thing or exclusively YouTube. For the time being, I'm going to switch over to Gabby and Kun here of Team 4. This is, of course, Kloby. They're facing... a nearby opposition of Team 37. This is going to be Fearless off in the distance. As we can see, Fearless is not really a Team Fearless. This is Team Gil. He came in as a solo, automatically at an immediate disadvantage, finding himself in a situation where he is outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned from the very get-go. Meaning he's absolutely going to need to dial things back to a bit more reserved approach and definitely utilize some placement before even considering engaging in those CQCs. Well, we got TD here holding the rooftop with the looming threat of Emperador from Silence just beneath him. PT waiting to try to get that opportune line of sight with the UMP-45, not finding no such connection. And Emperador looking like he might be trying to cook up a utility as well. Let's catch a God's eye view here, see what's going to happen with it. In this little love triangle, Emperador is finding himself as the deli meat in this peanut butter and screwed sandwich. All right, lots of potential here on the board. And look, ladies and gentlemen, this new zone has spoken, and it's going to be an Eastern-oriented one, and that is going to leave about 3/4 of the playing, maybe a little less than 3/4 of the playing field in need of eastbound rotation. They're going to need to find their way into the new zone, and as we all know, with a map as open as Miramar, it can be a very circumstantial thing based on the geography, but getting early real estate can be a pretty important factor. Emperador still just biding his time. He knows that if he pushes out too early, it's game over from the get-go, so he's got to be patient. Jatu taking a couple warning shots from the direction of Yannis. No connecting line of damage there. One nade could do the job, but as we can see, Yannis does not have that luxury. Oh, but Jatu's going for it! Oh, just like that, Yannis' teammate is down, leaving him as the last remaining hope for the team. And that is, that smiley boy is going to be frowning from now on. That smile has been turned upside down as Yannis is now a solo here. And just across the balcony way from the opposition with Jatu approaching close by. Edie does get Kid Star of the old gang off in the distance. Yannis just holding position. All right, well, little preemptive firing, expecting the push to come in, but it just a little off time. Here we go. Yanni's taking a huge hit of damage, taking down to a quarter of health, still able to get the takedown. Unfortunately, no thirst to follow as the teammates come to back him up. It was revenge dished out quickly. All right, Achilles trying to get a little bit of a distance overwatch here, trying to catch a line of sight on any third-party opportunities that present themselves either from Silence or Freedom B. Don't think that the likelihood of that is super high at the moment, so I'm going to tune elsewhere. A lot of teams already prioritizing this new zone as El Azahar is getting some attention. Off in the distance, we see 412 just looming underneath the northbound threat of Los Tia Paula. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Checking in on V2. V2 in very close proximity against One Piece. One Piece, we see X-Men and Last Dance with a little bit of a high ground here, as X-Men is the fiddler on the roof, so to speak. Last Dance holding down the church bell tower. Ooh, silence. Emperador has been silenced for good for match 2 off in the distance. Well, Ma, I'm pretty sure he's aware of just how dangerous of a position they're in, hence their hesitation to really move out into the open air. Ooh, Mao cooking up a nade here. They're both cooking up nades, and Mao was just in the opposition's line of sight. One Piece had the Overwatch just 5 feet above him. It would have been easy claps if he was not cooking up a nade as well. It's going to be a utility trade potentially here. I think X-Men might be considering a jump down. If so, Mao's not taking the bait. Yeah, little bits of stale time here. I'm just making sure there's nothing else happening in the distance. Well, it looks like members of Team 23, Duitagere, getting closer and closer to proximity to members of Kloby here. And just like that, Gabby is downed and quickly outed to follow, leaving Kun as the final hope here, desperately trying to get away from the likes of Duitagere. Lot of attention formulating here at the El Azahar region. And interestingly enough to note, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a little bit of attention here to what Aizen and Klot of Zero Monkeys are doing here. They are getting a nice high ground position, and I think this is going to be advantageous for them if they can stick to it. And I wasn't able to finish the sentence, but if the zone permits. They find themselves with a nice bit of overwatch over the entirety of El Azahar, but unfortunately for them, the zone has spoken, and they're going to have to migrate northbound if they want to get into that next zone. Well, 412 on the eastern portion of the zone, driving a wide-flanked rotation north just around V2. I think we're going to go check in on Aizen and Klot once more of Zero Monkeys. They find themselves driving in between two potential threats. Looks to be Toasty and Bum, as well as Eternal's Clout and Perlita of DK. Yep, no damage taken there. Well, what about checking in on INF? Somehow their team name is AWO. Yeah, TT very close to the looming threat. Oh! Of Duitagere, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen. You hate to be right sometimes, but he's out of there. That's going to leave Achilles and Achilles alone to carry on the name for AWO. And he's finding himself out in the middle of open ground, just in front of members of Duitagere as well as Kloby. And is he going to fire? Yes, he is. Shots out with his goal, trying to take him out from the SUV. Not really going to happen this time, it doesn't look. And I don't think that they're that interested in retaliating. They're prioritizing the zone rotation, going to get that real estate. All the while, V2 just still in the mix here. We see a member of Thirst University, T, operating on teams Bonnie and Clyde, just using the two-seater, pulling a wide flank rotation and maybe trying to get... Oh, yeah, I guess it's going to be an eastbound wide flank rotation in the zone. Little bits of downtime here, just due to the large nature of Miramar. Curious about what Ilea's up to. Ilea and that kid of At Lovers. Little spread out from one another, but just with a bit of high ground over the opposition in the Handsomes, which is, of course, I believe that was a little confusing here. I was about to say it's, of course, members of Team 18, the Handsomes, members of Eternal. And it looks like Clout going to be pulling that eastbound roadway rotation north. He might find himself in potential proximity to 412. And it looks like he's just looking for the opportune position. We can see members of Team 34, Bum and Toasty. This is going to be the Nokwemaka. Bum and Toasty just utilizing the city and compound cover afforded to them by El Azahar. And they don't really have an immediate threat for quite a distance. So they got a bit of downtime. Let these numbers dwindle. Secure that placement. Climb the rankings. Ooh, V2 finally catching the hit as Alex is taken down in the distance, leaving it riding on Ma and Ma alone. Ma with both of the team's kills in his name. Guys, thank you for watching on these platforms. Oh, hey, welcome to the channel, buddy. All right. Where is the next bit of blood gonna come from? RedEyes wants to see it. Yeah, well, 412. A little further outside of zone, but currently sandwiching members of Cytile X and Thirst University. It's gonna be Frosty and T. As we mentioned, Team Nokwemaka. I don't think they're very aware of the 412 position. This is 412 Love, Ray, and KX. Oh boy. This is a tough one. Utilizing the high ground advantage as well as what geographical cover is afforded to him, but finding himself pretty far outside of zone where time is of the essence. And ladies and gentlemen, as we are well rehearsed in now, in PUBG Mobile, the longer the game prolongs, the more damage that dead zone is going to take. And I don't care who you are or what tier you play at, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, has a higher KD than that blue zone. All right, we got someone from Zero Y going off in the distance. It's T2YO. I'm not sure. There we are. Members of 23 here. It's Skull and T2YO as Skull is taken down, leaving everything riding on T2YO to carry on the team name here. If he cannot stick that revive, he's going to give it a go using this little bit of hill for cover. All the while, the Galaxis boys and girls taking off in the distance as Hog has been shot down. Ooh, T2YO is wrecked apart by Faith of the Lycans. Hazen potentially able to catch the Lauren Besties off. Oh, pardon me, Gola and Gola unawares. Faith of the Lycans, the final hope for his team now, could be at a pretty dangerous position here with this low ground underneath the likes of Zero Monkeys. It's going to be a tough one. Not to mention the distant threat of Nokwemaka off to his east. And guys, we have got 26 people spread off across 17 teams as Clout and the Eternal boys finish another threat. It looks like further northbound, we've got Shy Boy finishing off an opposition. This is Shy Boy, of course, of Sideways. And boy, with very little health to speak of, he is eliminated outside by the dead zone. Case in point of what I just said earlier. All right, well, Phoenix not finding himself with much health in his name, but he does have some meds. He's going to try to utilize them now. Tuning in briefly to Team Control, working their way onto Galaxis. It's Raven and Saint down. Ooh, the nade almost retaliated after they were eliminated, but no cigar. It was not enough to seal the deal. All right. Well, with Brick and his teammate here of Team Control just over Taquiles. Taquiles being the final hope for members of AWO. He is just in a huge number disadvantage here, cover disadvantage, and they both find themselves just slightly outside a zone. Luckily, not too far to move at all, but there are looming threats that could pull a potential gatekeep when they do. All right, Toasty, I believe. A lot of shots being put outward there, but not really enough to finish the job on Team Control. And it looks like that's going to be AWO's Solo's last attempt to try to dip on out of Dodge. Maybe work his way in a southwestbound rotation into the southern end of zone. I guess a southwestbound loop around. I don't know what you would call that. But for the brief moment in time being, we do find ourselves with, ironically, one of the first bits of downtime that we've had so far this match. Fairly surprising. These Miramar matches tend to have a bit of, I should say, not stale time, but bits of slower progressions, intermittent slow paces, just due to its sheer size. But with so many teams on the board here, I'm finding it a little bit different this time around. Well, we noticed Gola and Gola, you know, one of the absolute front runners so far after match one in this tournament. Still a two-piece here. 2 of the 11 people remaining. Only 6 teams on the board. And Indible, 6x M4 wrecking across the way. And oof, it's actually going to be FD who ends up getting the third-party kill. All the while, I believe that's the last Lycan. Yep, Faith. Oh, he's better be living up to his name and have some faith out of it. It is going to be an out of the frying pan into the fire situation, no matter how he tries to rotate northbound. All right, this is quite a spread here, but remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the wide open desert of Miramar, where, you know, you might not be anywhere near your opposition, but you can be 300 meters away and very vulnerable, as we have seen time and time again with those bolties. So you got to be aware of not just your immediate surroundings, but those off in the wayward, out yonder ways as well. Hey, Nog. Hey, B-Man. All right, well, looks like Murph of Luna is trying to stick a revive on another Murph. And it's going to be a quick elimination of the last Lycan, Faith. He's out of there. He was able to acquire a few bit more placement points on the team. Well, speaking of solos, tuning into our solo, last remaining member of Freedom B, with a low ground disadvantage underneath the looming opposition in Team Control. And, oh, the nade from on top of the distance shots. Oh my goodness. Stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and it's almost as if those oppositions made a mutual agreement to team up for a brief moment just to take him out. Well, let's see. Golo and Gola, still a two-piece here. We got 3 teams remaining, a 2v2v2 to end round 2. It's going to be a fair fight. Let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Murph going to utilize their vehicle here, and it's important that they have these vehicles at this stage because that could be the only cover afforded to them once that zone shrinks further. We got Rick teammate firing away. What's his name with the 3x M4 does get the takedown on Murph just like that, and it's going to be a quick thirst to follow as they acquire their 5th kill. And now things are really starting to look a little bit bleak for the final Murph here. Yep, Murph got murked. Case in point. Well, 2 teams remain, ladies and gentlemen. Golo and Gola up against the opposition in Team Control. Golo and Gola with 3 kills total. Pindaboy firing upward to the hilltop. But not enough to finish the job here. Definitely enough to weaken him and make him have to prioritize some medding. Little couple preemptive nades just in case. Control was trying to catch a line of sight. Pindaboy is not going to afford him such luxury, which brings me to a great point, ladies and gentlemen. In a map as open as Miramar, you cannot stress enough the importance of utilities come in-game. These bits of smoke in this open ground could be all that separate these participants from life and death. All right, it's a battle of nades as we see both teams making it rain hellfire on the other. Kintang taken down to just above half health. Pindaboy utilizing what boulder cover he can. And I kind of love this. Is two different strategies being implemented. A 1-1 split. Oh, Kintang almost getting the run over. He almost turned what's his name of team control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh, goodness, sorry about that. So Pindaboy is now the final hope here. In a 1v2 situation, he evens the odds with that takedown on Brick. He's prioritizing a thirst, probably not necessary, because once he gets the other knock, the other guy's thirsted anyway. So it's a 1v1, a fair fight. Both participants at full health here, too. Pindaboy throwing a preemptive nade. Is it going to hit? Oh, my gosh. So much damage. Almost eliminating the opposition. Here comes the push. And Pindaboy gets it. Wow. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, any way you look at it, it's game over. And Golo and Gola, you know, they were pretty much, I believe they were leading the board in points before this. And now that's, they've added a little bit of slack in the rope, further increasing their momentum here as they take first place with 5 kills between them. We got team control in second with 7 kills between Brick and What's-His-Name. And What's-His-Name had a heavy backpack carrying 6 of the team's 7. We got the Murphs in third place with 2 kills going to Luna Murph. Tattoo and CAC in fourth place with 9 kills from CAC. Wow. Well, that's definitely going to help even those odds a little bit. We got the Lycan securing 5th with all 4 kills coming from Faith. Clot and Azen in 6th with 6 kills. We got Gil operating as a solo and somehow making his way all the way up to 7th place and adding a little bit of a kill on the board too. Members of Eternal here, Phoenix and Clout, in 8th place with 4 kills, all of which belong to Phoenix. We've got Ilea and That Kid in 9th place with 6 kills, and 5 of those 6 go to That Kid. Achilles and Titi in 10th with 5. We got members, well, I guess Toasty and Bum here in 11th with 0 kills. And you know what? We're just going to maybe do a brief scroll through on down. Let you guys just get an idea, because we will be doing live scoring updates as we progress into our third match, which brings me to a question, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen our participants now on the first map ever of Erangel, and now the wide open desert of Miramar. But what's going to happen when we take things in, close things in on that lush condensed forest? I am, of course, speaking of Sanhok, as we return for round 3 of 4 of the PUBG Mobile North America Scrims Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals in just a few short moments. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down, getting the run over. He almost turned What's-His-Name of team control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh, goodness, sorry about that. So Pindaboy is now the final hope here. In a 1v2 situation, he evens the odds with that takedown on Brick. He's prioritizing a 1 in this tournament. Still a 2-piece here. 2 of the 11 people remaining. Only 6 teams coming up on the board. And Pindaboy, 6S M4, wrecking across the way. And oof, it's actually going to be FD who ends up getting the third-party kill. Last Dance is taken down, leaving it riding on Man to stick that revive while simultaneously overwatching and cover firing, and it looks like he was able to do so successfully. Man now is trying to retaliate against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. For combo, double tack stalking. Ooh, Eternal's Phoenix going off in the distance, and their altercation with the likes of Lorne Besties. And unfortunately for the Besties, they are out of the equation, with Phoenix responsible for all 4 of the team's kills. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick work. And I kind of love this. Is 2 different strategies being implemented. A 1-1 split. Oh, Kintang almost getting the run over. He almost turned what's-his-name of team control into a bowling ball. But no, ultimately not. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. Panda Boy is now the final hope here. Fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only 1 team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get to their positioning here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys, and it looks like Monk Besties. Alright, well, Illegales putting some shots onto the oncoming threat of 0 Monkeys, and taking them both out. They hop out of the BRDM, and he 1v2s. Oof! Switching attention back over teammate 0 Monkeys as they try to pull a vehicle rotation by their opponents in step rows. You can see Clot here, ready and waiting. 4x M4, it's a quick takedown. Nice spray, nice recoil control. All right, the Faith of Lycan firing downward as members of Semper Fidelis. This is Galaxy Glacier teaming up with Amazing Husband Hog, and it does look to be a quick takedown via vehicle explosion and a quick first name here as he cannot stick that revive. He's going to give it a go using this little bit of hill for cover. All the while, the Galaxis boys and girls taking off in the distance as Hog has been shot down. Ooh, T2YO is wrecked apart by Faith of the Lycans. You see him with that Honey Badger M4 combo. Oh my gosh, just dishing out the damage, but ultimately finding himself outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned against Lorne Besties. Eternal boys finish another threat. It looks like further northbound, we've got Shy Boy finishing off an opposition. This is Shy Boy, of course, of Sideways. And boy, with very little health to speak of, he is eliminated outside by the dead zone. Case in point of what I just said earlier. Solos tuning into our solo last remaining member of Freedom B with a low ground disadvantage underneath the looming opposition in team control. And oh, the nade from on top of the distance shots. Oh my goodness. All right, well, little preemptive firing, expecting the push to come in, but it's just a little off time. Here we go. Yanni's taking a huge hit of damage, taking down to a quarter of health, still able to get to the takedown. Unfortunately, no thirst to follow as the teammates' health here too. Pinda Boy throwing a preemptive nade. Is it gonna hit? Oh my gosh, so much damage, almost eliminating the opposition. Here comes the push. And the boy gets it. Wow. Well, Belly currently sandwiched a bit of a conundrum here. There's not really any safe spots here, but being stuck in between Lorne Besties just like that, and then ultimately taken out with a caught unawares by Gola and Murph. Going to utilize their vehicle here, and it's important that they have these vehicles at this stage because that could be the only cover afforded to him once that zone shrinks further. We got Rick, teammate firing away. What's his name with the 3x M4 does get the takedown on just 8 against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. And ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. Said earlier. All right, well, Phoenix, not finding himself with much health in his name, but he does have some meds. He's going to try to utilize them now. Tuning in briefly to Team Control, working their way onto Galaxis. It's Raven and Saint down. Ooh, the nade almost retaliated after they were eliminated. Down. All the while, Silence putting a little bit of work off in the distance. It's Imperador and Dagas, and they are up against the immediate threat here of JP-47, and boom, taken out real quick, AK-47 for the finish. It could be an opportunity to catch him unawares. However, the looming threat in the distance of Eternal is still something to keep an eye out for. Eternal Laser, I guess they're going by the name Team Monkeys here, not to be confused with Zero Monkeys. Laser taking quite a hit, and yep, downed. All right, firing outward, that UMP Scar-L combo, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle of patience here, just holding the position for the brief time, waiting for the opportunity to present itself. Here it comes. Oh, unfortunately for him, that brief moment of just... Hey, Nog. Baby man. All right, well, looks like Murph of Luna is trying to stick a revive on another Murph. And it's going to be a quick elimination of the last Lycan Faith. Well, what about checking in on INF? Somehow their team name is AWO. Yeah, TT very close to the looming threat. Oh! Of Tuitagede, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen. You hate to be right sometimes. Like that. And it's going to be a quick thirst to follow as they acquire their 5th kill. And now, things are really starting to look a little bit bleak for the final Murph here. Yep, Murph got murked. Case in point. Distance, it's T2YO. I'm not sure. There we are. Members of 23 here. It's Skull and T2IO, as Skull is taken down, leaving everything riding on. Well know in PUBG Mobile esports are few and far between. So my acquaintance with color memory is, team colors, very minimal after the first 20 teams. But Illegales, legal, eliminating the threat right here and there. M4 find ourselves with, ironically, one of the first bits of downtime that we've had so far this match. Fairly surprising. These Miramar matches tend to have a bit of, I should say, not stale, bits of slower progressions. Intermittent is for sure. However, we are going to catch eyes on Lauren Besties, which is Minami and Tryout. Already name. We see Minami high ground spread. And yes, it is going to be quick work. I'll leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture and escape their using vehicle, but oh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And two preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, I guess, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke, but I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which is, of course, the Lawrence, and clearly not. He was eliminated in the process. Lidi and Fakil pushing up. Fakilis in the vehicle for an aggressive push on a weakened Phoenix of Eternal Gaming, and Phoenix is going to need to be prepared, ideally with some heals. He is able to heal up in time, but not in time enough to face off against an S12 shotgun, and boom. Jatu taking a couple warning shots from the direction of Yannis. No connecting line of damage there. One nade could do the job, but as we can see, Yannis does not have that luxury. Oh, but Jatu's going for it. Oh, just like that, Yannis' teammate is down, leaving him have found a way to migrate just onto the eastern outskirts of the zone and do some damage to the opposition across the entire field here. On the opposite side, just outside of zone, which is Team Fearless, Veli and Gil. At this point, Gil has been knocked. Veli desperately trying to revive the fallen teammate, and it looks to getting the run over. He almost turned what's-his-name of Team Control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh, goodness, sorry about that. So Panda Boy is now the final hope here. In a 1v2 situation, he evens the odds with that takedown on Brick. He's prioritizing a 1 in this tournament. Still a 2-piece here. 2 of the 11 people remaining. Only 6 teams. Individual 6S M4 wrecking across the way. And, oof, it's actually going to be FD who ends up getting the third party kill. Last Dance is taken down, leaving it riding on Man to stick that revive while simultaneously overwatching and cover firing, and it looks like he was able to do so successfully. Man now is trying to retaliate against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Combo. Double tack stalking. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are returning right now, right here and now, for round 3 of 4. That's right, round 3 of 4 of the PUBG Mobile. Oh my goodness, so the PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. And we are kicking off round 3, as you guessed it, at Sanhok. But before anything else, let's go in to the overall scores. I believe that they should be ready. Let me double check to make sure here. Yes, they are. So as they currently stand, ooh, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it does not look quite updated yet. So we will be checking back momentarily here to check in on that. But those will be updated fairly shortly. However, what needs to be said about a map like Sanhok? Basically the exact opposite from our previous match, Miramar. This is Sanhok, our smallest map, at least for the esports scene. You know, Livik and Karakin, and now the new map, Noosa, are all smaller, but we don't mess with those in the esports world too much. So this is the smallest map that we've got today, meaning that the odds of 2 teams landing next to each other, it's gonna be a bit higher. But, you know, on top of that, it's also the most condensed map that what we have in the game. And what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean, most lush in vegetation. There's more natural cover to take, more grass to hide inside, and trees and boulders to hide behind. So you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And right away, we are seeing an interesting little spread here as members of One Piece drop down right in front of an opposing team here in Team 37, which is going to be, of course, Team Fearless. And we see Veli already waiting to cook up nade, and boom goes the dynamite, all too literally, as Veli just wrecks into the opponent. Last Dance, making it rain hellfire, and here comes a push with a double-barrel shotgun. Veli has nothing to speak of in terms of armor. Oh, wait, I withdraw that statement. Has a level 1 vest, but no helmet. And that's going to put him at a very vulnerable push. But here we go. DBS in hand. And just wrecked apart. Luckily, the teammate came with, you know, revenge on the mind, and it was served on a cold platter. Now, tuning in briefly and momentarily to Team 7, INF, going by the name AWO here. They are very close by the looming threat of Team Control. Control consisting of what's-his-name and Clot. And what's-his-name could be in trouble here. One moment, you guys. Sure, my stream deck was active. All right, well, they're just waiting for this looming threat, but all the while we have a potential altercation brewing off in the distance between V2 and the Lycans, and just as soon as I say it, Panda Boy is wrecked apart in the distance. Ooh, Faith is down, and now quickly finishing the first. Right. So we're going to switch back over. Can Kintang get the revive on the fallen teammate Pindaboy? It looks to have been done successfully, but they are not out of the water yet. They still have the opposition in Nokwemaka, still ready and waiting. However, Toasty has been knocked, and Kintang going to use this opportunity to push in before they can get the revive on the fallen teammate. He expected that little preemptive molly thrown down the staircase to hold him off at bay, and does not take the bait. But Toasty's still not up. That's going to leave Bum in a number disadvantage. He's outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned in this situation. But he is equipped with that DBS double-barrel shotgun and a QBZ. So he's not without some hope here. Ooh, it looks like Galaxis Raven is downed off in the distance. And boom, even Bum's DBS is not going to be enough. So what happens elsewhere in the realm of Sanhok? Well, it looks like not a lot. We got Metalcore and Electra off in the distance. They're going to be holding down the western front for now, where all is currently quiet. We can see members of Team 17. This is going to be Wolfie and Weekum off in the cow area with no one around for miles. We see Eisen going off in the distance on the V2 boys. We're going to catch a brief eye on it as Alex is taken down, leaving everything reliant on Ma with that 6x UMP. It does appear that we have that door glitch in effect here, but he should be able to potentially revive his fallen teammate here. But no! Taken out from the side. Oof. Well, that's great work on the hands of Zero Monkeys as they acquire their 3rd and 4th kill right there and then. No time really to waste. We have a couple potential altercations on the board still. Old Gang off in the way distance. Come on now, where are you? There we go. And they currently have a nice little advantage here as Gil knows the looming threat, the final hope here. Oh. Yeah, the looming threat here of the Old Gang, the final hope for the team, Kid Star, I almost confused myself there, perched ready and waiting with a Tommy gun in hand. Interestingly enough, not utilizing the UMP for this kind of close quarter. Now, I'm not sure if Gil and Veli of Fearless are aware of his location, but no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like off in the distance, members of Team Cloby have been eliminated. And unfortunately, the Lauren Besties facing a bit of a tough go as well, but that's a pill that they have to swallow in this case. And, oh, Veli eliminates the looming threat that was Old Gang's last hope, Kid Star. He's out of the equation. So we're down to 39 people, but spread across 21 teams. Ooh. Way down south, we got an outlier, so to speak. And that outlier is going to be a member of Eternal, I believe. Oh, yep, it's Clout and Phoenix. They're going to be doing a boat-bound rotation. Not very expected by the rest of the participants, so they might actually be able to make it up there pretty securely. We're going to go check in on a Galaxis, which at this point is riding on Saint. That Raven has been shot down, so Saint is the final hope against what would appear to be a 2-piece of Army of Pain. Oh, maybe it's a 1-piece. Yes, a 1-piece, baby. Let me check in. Yep, it's just Wolfie at this point. Wolfie equipped on the rooftop. Tommy gun, M4 in hand. Biding the time. It's a battle of patience here for the time being. And the shots have been fired, but none connect on the Wolfie. Saint still perched on the rooftop, trying to rotate around. He was really hoping to get that high ground angle, but Wolfie is not granting him such a luxury here. If Saint had the utilities, I think we would have probably seen him by now, but we're just going to get a God's eye view here just to be sure about that. Oh, boy. The self-control that these two are both exerting by not just pushing, it's astounding me. This is probably the reason why I don't fare too well in the competitive esports scene with a hands-on gameplay, but I wouldn't be able to resist this temptation. Wolfie is going to push in, though. Here we go. Just a few moments separate this altercation. And boom! That wolf has been shot down. It's hunting season for Saint as he acquires his second kill and the team's second as well. Where to tune into? How's about over yonder ways? We're going to check in on Team 33, Team Control. They are just relatively close by Team 412, where we see KX just waiting for the opportunity to catch a line of sight on Brick. But he's patient here. Oh, off in the distance, the crew in Luna, which is the Murph and Murphs, down to Murph, ironically. Luna Murph firing away. Yeah, outward at Phoenix, taking him down to just above half health, but not quite getting the connecting damage that he or she was hoping for. But it's going to be a utility that is messed up right there in the process. Oof. Phoenix still moving further eastbound and ultimately taking the distraction off of Clout for him to get that surprise angle. Nicely done. All right, little bit of downtime here. You don't often see it too much in Sanhok, but it does happen from time to time. And as I said with the earlier matches, a more passive early game always directly translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or in-game. So it's going to be worth the trade if you ask me. We got Ray scoping outward with a QBU, trying to catch eyes on Control, or maybe even a line of sight on a member of 412. No such line of sight is afforded to him in this particular scenario. KX is the one who's particularly closer to the altercation, but nothing happening just yet. Let's go tune in to a man who, as I said, needs no introduction. Metalcore and Electra pulling a vehicle rotation on Sanhok. It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out. As Electra and Metalcore work their way northbound into the boot camp region. Oof, they're driving, looking for the altercations potentially here. They're going to be moving right on by one of the absolute frontrunners of the first two matches, Golo and Gola. And even though shots were fired outward in their direction, neither of them take a single bullet of damage. So they're finding themselves in a pretty comfortable position now with this compound cover. Well, we got 44 here. The final hope here for Team 24, La Planeta, and just being a sneaky little grass snake. Why? Because in front of them is the looming threat of Frijoles, which consists of Overhaul's Giant and Elmo. Oh, but in the distance, we are hearing shots. Yep, it's going to be the likes of Duita Gede. T2YO trying to fire at King on that kid, but the molly rains on him. It's going to be on Skull. He does get the retaliation on Ilea, but ooh, that kid's shooting him down to about 10% of his health, and that finishes the job right there. And now Giant in a bit of a conundrum here. Looks like he's going to try to prioritize a revive on Mo, and it will be done successfully. All the while, the looming threat of La Planeta is going to try to make their outward escape, moving southwestbound. Currently, Penda Boy and Kintang of Golo and Gola holding the central portion of boot camp, finding themselves fairly comfortable in the new zone. As soon as I say it, or as soon as I switch out, that's when the shots get fired, and it does get Giant. All right, well, that is going to be a reason to go tune right on back, see what Elmo's up to here. Will he be able to revive the fallen teammate? Well, with this kind of geographical cover, as we are all too familiar, and Sanhok is afforded pretty luxuriously here, Going to utilize that boulder and try to get a revive here. 44 is looking to be coming a little closer to the mix. Line of sight is caught, and ooh! All right. Where should we get into? Yes, I know where we're going to. We're the Illegales as Illegal gets a takedown, and Rapunzel coming closer and closer to the looming threat in front of him. That's going to be TO13 of Team Fair. Prone in the grass, ready and waiting with a DBS. Ooh, but revenge served cold by Illegal, and he gets him down and out. Metalcore, not really anyone around to worry about just for the moment, but speaking of Illegales, we got Illegal here trying to get Rapunzel to a position of safety to provide that revive, and I think that they should be able to do so without too much of an issue, even though they're not out of the frying pan just yet. Above them is a potential threat of Fearless still, Belly and Gil. And they don't seem too occupied with, pursuing the Illegales southbound. They're going to hold down the edge of zone and maybe even attempt to gatekeep them. But it seems that Golo and Gola holding down boot camp may have caught wind. And then, yep, they definitely have. Firing uphill towards Belly. Belly trying to retaliate with 3x-M4, and it doesn't look like either team is getting any connecting damage so far. But it's going to be a careful situation here for Team Fearless, because if they are to leave their back end unattended to here, it could leave a real opportunity for the likes of the Illegales to catch them unawares in a third party from hell. All right, well, Drippy does get a member of 412 in the distance. We're going to switch over to the final hope for 412, which is Kayax. He's got a nice little high ground over Drippy of the Monkeys, but no line of sight on him or... Well, Laser is out in the open. He's weighing his options, and it looks to be a rotation, understandably so. We've got a couple fights here on the board at the moment. Team 36, Ilea and Matt Kidd of At Lovers facing off. And out of the equation, just like that. Well, KX still holding a little bit of a position here over the Monkeys, and it looks like he was able to secure a knock on Drippy, leaving Laser with no options but to try to stick a revive. And he does get it successfully on Drippy, and probably in the nick of time, too, before KX can really get close enough to throw a nade in the shack or aggress on them. But it's a standoff. Little preemptive shots coming outward from Laser's AK-47. Not any connecting damage, obviously. But going to use this opportunity to pull a unexpected low ground wide rotation, utilizing... You don't often see the low ground utilized advantageously, but here's Laser making sure it keeps him out of the line of sight of KX. KX still not fooled. Those footsteps are close enough to be heard. And they still finish the job, and it's going to be another point on the board for the Monkeys. Switching way outward, catching eyes on Illegales. Illegal just above Veli and Gil, still. Azen and Clot in boot camp. Zero Monkeys, not to be confused with the Monkeys. They're facing off against Golo and Gola. Pinda Boy, the final hope for the team, but he is responsible for all three of the team's kills. Hellfire raining right next to him, but somehow he does not take a lick of damage. Getting to a position of cover on the staircase, he's going to wait for... I'm assuming he's going to await an inevitable push. Yeah, every move he makes is so close they can hear the footsteps, and he's not getting much of a surprise along. Here we go! The shots count. They're effective. Gets a takedown, but not before revenge is served cold and fast by Clot in retaliation. And that is going to be it for Golo and Gola for round 3. Well, Hunter of Gunmen. One of the amazing sponsors. Him and his wife are the sole sponsors of my $450 tournament. You can see HOG is now the last remaining hope here for the team. His wife, Glacier, has been eliminated, leaving him in a 1v2 standoff here up against the likes of Control. Bricked and what's his name holding down different positions. Bricked preparing a nade potentially. Wow, lots of potential altercations just ready to unveil at any moment here. We can see members of Team 36. This is going to be... Let me actually get the highlighter on for this one. Team 36. Oh, well, as I say it, Brick is able to do some work right then and there, eliminating the threat that was Hunter of Gunmen. Now, off in the distance, there's members of Galaxis, but they got a bit of space. So I think for now, I'm going to tune in to the last hope here for Team 24, La Planeta. This is going to be 44, being a prone, sneaky little grass snake here with that honey badger. And just trying to lay low, not trying to bring too much attention to himself, understandably so. As a solo, he finds himself at a pretty severe disadvantage, especially with this many teams still remaining. All right, well. Clout and Phoenix of the clan Eternal, they're going by the name the team name The Handsomes. They find themselves a little unaware, I think, of the opposition in the high ground, 44. But the fact that he is still prone crawling makes me think that maybe they do have some hint as to his whereabouts. Well, shots off in the distance. Oh, it's being fired northbound by Clot and Azen. It's directed towards Metalcore and Electra. Oh, the draw that Saint from Galaxis just wrecked into, and that is the end of the Saint for that round. Clot now wasting no time focusing on Eternal's Phoenix. He does get the takedown. That's one handsome boy taken down, leaving only one more handsome left. Clout taken down to about 2/3 of his overall health, like getting position behind the boulder. But I think, yep, off in the distance, Metalcore and Electra in a bit of a conundrum as Electra is taken down, leaving Metalcore as the final hope, reduced down to just about half health. He is going to desperately try to square a revive. Ooh, I think he actually might have cleared out the altercation. Yep, he's going to get that revive, no problem. So, 0 monkeys, Clot and Azen, now with 8 kills on the board. 6 of those go to Clot. I mean, heavy backpack work here. They're doing pretty aggressively strong job here in round 3. Being a full team at this stage in the game, with 8 kills in the game, very strong position. No matter what happens, those kill points are going to be pretty effective. So we got Mac and Cheese and Bacon. This is of Team 38. Please be gentle. Now, I believe I saw someone in the chat asking about Mac and Cheese. So I will go tune into Bacon and Mac right here and now. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to switch away for now just because their opposition, 0 monkeys, is refocusing their effort and aiming outward towards members of Team 33, which is Control. Oh, it's going to be a trade-off of nades. Oh. Well, what's his name taking some damage? About a fifth of his overall health, but it's not going to be enough to do anything significant. However, the nade he serves out to Azen is significant, taking him down to about half health exactly, leaving Clot in charge of a little bit of overwatch and cover fire while Azen needs to heal. But this could be problematic because coming in from the backside is going to be Mac and Cheese and Bacon themselves. And Mac and Cheese taking a little bit of a hit, reduced down to about 32% health. Ooh, desperately needing to heal, but that zone is going to be unforgiving. We're down to 9 teams, and the Mac and Cheese has been totaled. Just like that. Well, Bacon retaliating onto Brick, but oh, the damage he took back in retaliation is enough to be eliminated by what remained of the opposition. However, the opposition was also eliminated immediately after the clap. So at least they got a kill on the board before being taken out, but it's still a tough pill to swallow when you don't even get a brief moment to celebrate. Well, Clot, as you can see, we were speaking earlier about that aforementioned heal strat, even with the new scoring system, it's still being utilized, and it's still definitely somewhat effective. I've seen in multiple regions in the pro leagues, it's still serving a purpose, so to speak. So I think we don't need to rule it out anytime soon. But we got Metalcore and Electra holding low ground up against the high ground threat that is the Zero Monkeys. It's a 2v2 of Aizen and what's-his-name versus Electra and Metalcore. Electra taking a little bit of damage from that molly. I withdraw it. A lot of damage from that molly. Not enough to finish her off. Metalcore holding him off at bay with that 4x 4, doing significant damage to Clot, reducing him to below half health. Leaving Aizen in charge of Overwatch and cover fire. Ooh, and boy does he ever, as he shoots Metalcore down to below half health himself. Core really needs to heal. He knows it, finding himself outside of zone. Not a lot of time. This zone is so relentless. And Electra is out, and Metalcore is out just like that. Oofta in the chat. But a great effort nonetheless. Unfortunately for them, it's going to go to Zero Monkeys. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm going to mute the emulator. I'm going to hope to remember to unmute it before the next match, but that bullet glitch is it's a tough one for your ears. But it's the Zero Monkeys, Clot and Aizen, securing that gold medal first place finish. Sorry about the highlighter. With 12 kills on the board. We got Metalcore and Electra in second with 2 kills from Metalcore. Phoenix and Clout, the Handsomes, in third place with 4. Coming in fourth, it's going to be Bricked and what's-his-name of Control with 9 kills. We got Mac and Cheese and Bacon securing fifth with 1 kill from Bacon. Laser and Drippy in sixth with 4 kills from Drippy. We got FD in seventh with 2. Perlita and 44 in eighth with 4 kills from 44. Galaxis in ninth with 2. Illegales in 10th with 4. And Hog and Glacier in 11th with 0. Now, I'm going to just check here to see if these scores from before this match have been updated yet. Let's have a look-see. It doesn't look to be the case, actually. So, hopefully they will be updated in time for us once we return for our fourth and final match. We are going to end things a little bit differently today. I believe we are going to be taking things to a little bit of a colder climate, so to speak. So we'll be back at you in just a few short moments. The fourth and final round of the North American Scrims PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Getting the run over. He almost turned what's-his-name of Team Control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh, getting to a position of cover on the staircase. He's going to wait for, I'm assuming he's going to await an inevitable push. Every move he makes is so close they can hear the footsteps, and he's not getting much of a surprise along the way. Here we go! The shots count. They're effective. Gets significant damage to Clot, reducing him to below half health. Leaving Aizen in charge of Overwatch and cover fire. Ooh, and boy does he ever, as he shoots Metalcore down to below half health himself. Core really needs to heal. He knows it, finding himself outside of zone. Not a lot of time. This zone is so relentless. And Electra is out, and Metalcore is out just against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, Original Gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. In front of an opposing team here in Team 37, which is going to be, of course, Team Fearless. And we see Veli already waiting to cook up nade, and boom goes the dynamite, all too literally, as Veli just... And I kind of love this. Is 2 different strategies being implemented. A 1-1 split. Oh, Kintang almost getting the run over. He almost turned what's-his-name of Team Control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh, goodness, sorry about that. So Panda Boy is now the final hope here. Besties. Well, Illegales putting some shots onto the oncoming threat of Zero Monkeys and taking them both out. They hop out of the BRDM and he 1v2s. Oof! Colonel Boys finish another threat. It looks like further northbound, we've got Shy Boy finishing off in opposition. This is Shy Boy, of course, of Sideways. And boy, with very little health to speak of, he is eliminated outside by the dead zone. Case in point of what I just said earlier. Lidi and Fakil pushing up. Fakilis in the vehicle for an aggressive push on a weakened Phoenix of Eternal Gaming. And Phoenix is going to need to be prepared, ideally with some heals. He is able to heal up in time, but not in time enough to face off against an S12 shotgun. And boom. All right, well. Little preemptive firing, expecting the push to come in, but just a little off time. Here we go. Johnny's taking a huge hit of damage, taking down to a quarter health, still able to get the takedown. Unfortunately, no thirst to follow as the teammates for combo. Double tack stalking. Ooh, Eternal's Phoenix going off in the distance in their altercation with the likes of Lorne Besties. And unfortunately for the Besties, they are out of the equation with Phoenix responsible for all 4 of the team's kills. Solos tuning into our solo last remaining member of Freedom B with a low ground disadvantage underneath the looming opposition in team control. And oh, the nade from on top of the distance shots. Oh my goodness. Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Quick work, preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, I guess, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke. But I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which is, of course, a Lorne, and clearly not that he was eliminated in the process. It could be an opportunity to catch him unawares. However, the looming threat in the distance of Eternal, still something to keep an eye out for. Eternal Laser, I guess they're going by the name Team Monkeys here, not to be confused with Zero Monkeys. Laser taking quite a hit, and yeah, downed as to his whereabouts. Well, shots off in the distance. Oh, it's being fired northbound by Klot and Azen. It's directed towards Metalcore and Electra. Oh, the drawback Saint from Galaxis just wrecked into, and that... Alright, the fate of Lycan firing downward as members of Semper Fidelis. This is Galaxy Glacier teaming up with our amazing husband Hog, and it does look to be a quick takedown via vehicle explosion and a quick first fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only one team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get to their position here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys, and it looks like Monkeys switching attention back over teammate Zero Monkeys as they try to pull a vehicle rotation by their opponents in step rows. You can see Klot here, ready and waiting. 4x M4, it's a quick takedown. Nice spray, nice recoil control. Well know in PUBG Mobile esports are few and far between. So my acquaintance with color memory is, team colors, very minimal after the first 20 teams. But Illegales, legal, eliminating the threat right here and there. M4, find ourselves with, ironically, one of the first bits of downtime that we've had so far this match. Fairly surprising. These Miramar matches tend to have a bit of, I should say, not stale time, but bits of slower progressions, intermittent. Well, what about checking in on INF? Somehow their team name is AWO. Yeah, TT very close to the looming threat. Oh! Of Vikendi, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen. You hate to be right sometimes. It's gonna be the likes of Vikendi. P2YO trying to fire at T9. That kid with the molly rains on him. It's gonna be on Skull. He does get the retaliation on Ilea, but ooh, that kid shooting him down to about 10% of his health, and that finishes the job. Number disadvantage. He's outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned in this situation, but he is equipped with that DBS double barrel shotgun and a QBZ, so he's not without some hope here. Ooh, it looks like Galaxis Raven is downed off in the distance, and boom, even bums. DBS is not gonna be enough. But all the while, we have a potential altercation brewing off in the distance between V2 and the Lycans. And just as soon as I say it, Pindaboy is wrecked apart in the distance. Ooh, Faith is down, and Mal quickly finishing the first. You don't often see the low ground utilized advantageously, but here's Laser making sure it keeps him out of the line of sight of KX. KX still not fooled. Those footsteps are close enough to be heard. Griffin, he's outnumbered, and they still finish the job, and it's going to be another point on the board for the Monk, because coming in from the backside is going to be Mac and Cheese and Bacon themselves, and Mac and Cheese taking a little bit of a hit, reduced down to about 32% health. Ooh, desperately needing to heal, but that zone is going to be unforgiving. We're down to 19th, and the Mac and Cheese has been totaled. Just like that. Well, Veli currently sandwiched in a bit of a conundrum here. There's not really any safe spots here, but being stuck in between Lauren Besties just like that, and then ultimately taken out with a caught unawares by Gola and Gola. All right, firing outward, that UMP Scar-L combo, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle of patience here, just holding the position for the brief time, waiting for the opportunity to present itself. Here it comes. Oh, unfortunately for him, that brief moment of just distance. It's T2YO. I'm not sure. There we are. Members of 23 here. It's Skull and T2IO as Skull is taken down, leaving everything riding on this for sure. However, we are going to catch eyes on Lauren Besties, Minami, and Tryout. Already name. You see Minami high ground spraying and yes, it is going to be quick work. Murph going to utilize their vehicle here, and it's important that they have these vehicles at this stage because that could be the only cover afforded to them once that zone shrinks further. We got Rick teammate firing away. What's his name with the 3X M4 does get down on just cover, as we are all too familiar, and Sanhok is afforded pretty luxuriously here. Going to utilize that boulder and try to get a revive here. 44 is looking to be coming a little closer to the mix. Line of sight is caught, and ooh! Jatu taking a couple warning shots from the direction of Yannis. No connecting line of damage there. One nade could do the job, but as we can see, Yannis does not have that luxury. Oh, but Jatu's going for it! Oh, just like that, Yannis' teammate is down, leaving him 2 boys. We're going to catch a brief eye on it as Alex is taken down, leaving everything reliant on Ma with that 6x UMP. It does appear that we have that door glitch in effect here. He should be able to potentially revive his fallen teammate here, but no! Taken out from the side. Down. All the while, Silence putting a little bit of work off in the distance. It's Imperador and Dagas, and they are up against the immediate threat here of JP-47, and boom, taken out real quick, AK-47 for the finish. Getting the run over. He almost turned what's his name of Team Control into a bowling ball, but no, ultimately not. Oh goodness, sorry about that. The Pendaboy is now the final hope here. In a 1v2 situation, he evens the odds with that takedown on Brick. He's prioritizing a hands-on gameplay, but I wouldn't be able to resist this temptation. Wolfie is going to push in, though. Here we go. Just a few moments separate this altercation. And boom! That wolf has been shot down. It's hunting season for sec like that. And it's going to be a quick thirst to follow as they acquire their 5th kill. And now, things are really starting to look a little bit bleak for the final Murph here. Yep, Murph got Murph. Case in point. Laser is out in the open. He's weighing his options, and it looks to be a rotation, understandably so. We've got a couple fights here on the board at the moment. Team 36, Ilea and that kid of At Lovers facing off and out of the equation just like that. I'll leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture and escape here using the vehicle, but ooh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And two have found a way to migrate just onto the eastern outskirts of the zone and do some damage to the opposition across the entire field here. On the opposite side, just outside of zone, which is Team Fearless, Veli and Gil. At this point, Gil has been knocked. Veli desperately trying to revive the fallen teammate, and it looks to be... Hey, Nog. Well, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our fourth and our final round of the PUBG Mobile North American Scrims Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. And we are concluding the day a little bit different than we see in a lot of the NA esports scene. We're concluding it with a Vikendi. Now, what do we need to say about Vikendi? I have not gotten to do this spiel in a minute. Well, it is essentially the dead middle ground between Miramar and a Sanhok. Sanhok is a 4x4. Miramar is an 8x8. This map is a 6x6. So size-wise, it's definitely right in the middle ground there. But what separates Sanhok from the rest of these maps is obviously it's a snowbound map. So your outfits, even if you're wearing a white outfit, they tend, the outfits do stick out against the snow much more significantly. So you're much more spottable than you would be otherwise. But even more so on the topic of the snow, you can track your enemies. Footprints and tire tracks, well, realistically tire tracks, but at some point footprints will be implemented. But for now, tire tracks as a way to track the routes of the opposition. Wow, already we're seeing quite a spread. If we notice, the Villa is going to be getting people quite a lot of love in here. It looks to me like FD dropping alongside two other teams. Could be an altercation. Let's go get eyes, just in case. I want to know. Let me switch over before I forget. All right. So they're here with three other teams. I stand corrected. It's going to be the Old Gang, FD. Ooh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We got eyes on Please Be Gentle as Bacon firing away with the UMP-45 actually ends up dishing out much less damage, if any, than he was taking in retaliation. He is brought down to just above half health here. Okay. Gonna be a tough one. But off in the distance, we see on the kill feed, Luna going off. Hey, it's Jassa of the Old Gang getting a takedown. Murph taking down somebody as well here. But Bacon does get the wolf out of there as the wolf tried to hop through the window. Bacon ended that real quick. And Hellfire being thrown over to keep him off at bay as Kid Star comes in. And mac and cheese is downed, and so is Bacon, and that meal is ended. That's a clean plate for Kid Star as he finishes that and gets himself the first kill for the team. Desperately in need of some heals while Jassa is taken down. Star has no time to heal up. Can he do it? Ultimately, in a situation without that health, outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned, and it was quick work. But no time to waste. Let's catch eyes on the Lycans off in the distance here for just a brief moment. They are in the mix with members of At Lovers. That is going to be that kid and Ilea. And that kid is not fooled for a second. He knows exactly where Faith is. Ooh, off in the distance, Limitless succumbed to a nade from one of the 412s. Ooh, looks like One Piece getting into a little bit of action off in the distance as well. We're going to see about that just briefly. Wow, if it weren't for me zooming in, I would have thought this was all one team because of that color icon being so similar, but it is not. It's going to be Skull. Skull, at this point, the last hope here for his team, Duitagere, and ready and waiting with that Uzi. Not the most ideal situation, and oof. Yeah, the DBS double barrel shotgun, it does not leave opportunity for a lot of second chances at life. Well, going down to Laser and Drippy, this is, of course, members of Team Monkeys. They are right here looming against a threat of another Eternal member, a clanmate, but not a teammate in this case. I hope they don't have all chat on. Okay, we're going way down south. Checking in on the man, the myth, the legend himself, Metalcore. I saw 2 people coming into my YouTube saying they're here for metal. Well, I appreciate you. I love metal as well. Ooh, Emperador of the Silence Clan getting a nade off in the distance. Aizen, the only teammate up remaining here for Zero Monkeys. And Metalcore with a monster nade. Just wrecks into Clot. Makes it rain hellfire. Clot is out of there. That's going on social. Ooh, Revenge dished out in retaliation, and it ends up being Dagas who finishes Metal and Electra. A tough pill to swallow. Rename. Okay. What to tune into? Well, we can see members of FD. This is going to be Freedom B, not far off from an altercation here with the likes of La Perlineta. La Perlineta is Peralita, and 44 Peralita taking such a huge hit, but the nade raining down on Tattoo in retaliation takes him out, and CIC's awfully hurt, reduced down to 1/4 of his health. It's going to be a push. It's got to be. Well, Peralita is not naded out, but the Tommy gun to finish the job. That's going to leave 44 as the last hope here for his team in a 1v1 standoff here. So it's going to be the likes of Freedom B and La Perlineta. Solo v solo, 44 and CAC. With trade-off of utilities, CAC going to try to enshroud himself in a cloud of smoke to provide what cover he can here. Elsewhere on the board, we see quite a significant spread. It is still very early on in game, but wow, we only have 29 people remaining. How does he have this many nades? Well, all good things, I was going to say all good things must come to an end as he runs out of nades, but then his teammate has 2 more, and he does not even waste an instant. However, the opponent 44 with a DBS G36 combo, going to try to get a little bit further back here, maybe acquire some high ground over his opponent. But that brief moment of vulnerability was all 44 needed to capitalize. While catching eyes on the Illegales, Rapunzel, and Illegal, just overwatching the FD, the last remaining member of Freedom B, CAC. And he is not fooled. He knows about it. Shots put outward towards Illegal, but really doing essentially minimal damage for that opportunity, unfortunately for him. Well, it looks like we are got to go into Raven of Galaxis, driving right by the looming threat of Semper Fidelis, but not taking any shots in the process. All right, Illegal holding position, awaiting CAC's push. Solo v solo. I'm so sorry about the emulator, guys. I forgot about turning on the sound. But we are back. We hear those vehicles. It's actually going to be members of 412 just driving on by, not really looking for the altercation or the smoke just yet. So, guys, while I do have a brief moment, I'm going to go review the overall scores as they currently stand before this match began. So, as you can see, there is the Zero Monkeys with a 5-point lead over Team Control, holding 38 points to Control's 33, and that is going to be 2 points above Golo and Gola, who did so phenomenally in the first 2 rounds, but ultimately had trouble maintaining that momentum. Freedom B holding 26 points here. At Lovers in 5th with 23. Handsomes in 6th with 21. Illegales in 7th with 16. 1 point away from 3 teams, the Lycans, Lorne Besties, and Monkeys, all tied at 15. All right, Illegales. Ooh, it's a wasted nade! Not just a wasted nade, but a self-harming one as he takes himself down to half health. All the while, that was all CAC needed to get the knock on Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your health. Okay, CAC's coming. It's a push. Boy, as a solo, I love to see it. I mean, you can tell they're aggressive as they've already got 7 kills between them, but that is going to be his 5th kill and the team's 8th. Well done to CAC of Freedom B. And as we were noting, Freedom B is very much in the running here to take this thing home. If they're holding 4th place, currently 12 points behind the Zero Monkeys. Now, Zero Monkeys, let's see, I believe that's Team 8. They are already weakened. They lost Clot, and it's riding on Azen at this point. So realistically, he's going to have to find a balance of placement and kills to suit being a solo, meaning that he definitely needs to prioritize placement. They currently hold the overall lead, but the overall lead at being this close, placement points alone is not like to be enough to maintain that lead. And there are no more matches after this. This is the last shot you got. So he's going to probably need to work in some aggressive kills at some point there. Be it ideally waiting for the right opportunity to present itself to him and utilizing a good third party. But that's, you know, peak optimal situations. That you might not get that kind of luxury. So he might actually have to go out seeking the blood if he wants to maintain that lead. Now, we are getting eyes on Achilles of Team AWO. A little bit of Overwatch over the likes of Phoenix and Clout. Of the clan Eternals. Ooh, look, CAC approaching the party for another 1v2 scenario. I like it. All-out bloodbath here. CAC is relentless. He just wants the action. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely getting a little bit of a cluster here towards the central portion of zone. And there's multiple reasons for this. Not just for the fact that it is, the most like to be in the following zone, but also there's a little bit of compound cover afforded. And the big part, it's an elevated land. It has a little bit of an overwatch opportunity over the cliff edge just outside these compounds. So multiple reasons to have claimed this spot. But as we've seen time and time again, an early claiming of central real estate can be advantageous, or it can be the exact opposite. Often times getting in the middle of zone, come in-game in an open, vulnerable territory, it leaves you susceptible to multiple angles of opponents. Ooh, Clout is down. But can they down the Phoenix, or will he rise from the ashes and eliminate the looming threat of the final member of Freedom B and just deprive him of his opportunity to take this gold medal home? Well, only time's going to tell, but elsewhere we have quite a spread. And as I said, it applies to this match the same as it applies to every other map. We are going to be left with occasional moments of silence and in-between time, but they only translate to a more action-packed and climactic mid or in-game, so I'm okay with it. And as Stage 2 draws to its final minute, we see Phoenix getting more and more sandwiched here in between Freedom B Freedom B and the two-piece of AWO. Not much else on the board. Interestingly enough, Dagas of Team 19, members of the Silence Clan, I guess the team is called Silence as well, he is heel stratting. And you don't often see this on a Vikendi, but the man has 10 first aids, and he's got an intention with it. Well, Phoenix going off in the distance. It's going to be a face-off against Achilles. All the while, the looming threat of Freedom B is going to try to opportunize a third-party kill steal. Oh, my goodness, Achilles with a monster nade, wrecking into him, but taking a little bit of nade damage in a third party. And here comes CAC to try to pick off the scraps and remains of Achilles before he gets a chance to heal up. And does so successfully. This guy is a monster in aggressive combat. Whether on a team or on his own, he knows how to handle his close quarter combat situations. CAC now with his 6th kill and the team's 8th. All right, a little bit of a spread here. Maybe checking in on Bricked and Clot, or Bricked and what's his name. This is, of course, members of Control, and they're just posted up. I'm not going to say the word camping. I'm going to say this is a duos tournament, and I don't know if camping is the right terminology in this case. Just being reserved and holding position, prioritizing placement, and letting those numbers dwindle. But Laser coming in, AWO with blood on the mind. It's going to be Laser and Drippy coming in. 0 kills so far to their name, so they're definitely hungry to get something on the board. All right, well, Drippy and Eternal finding themselves in a bit of a sandwich situation. A little bit of distance on each side, but Galaxis Raven, low ground, holding compound cover, could be able to potentially catch eyes. Elsewhere, there's only 18 people on the board here for this size zone, and most of them, as you'll note, utilizing high ground. That's going to be a big moment of vulnerability for the likes of Semper Fidelis here on the eastern quadrants of this new zone. Well. Well, I guess while we have this little bit of downtime, I'm going to go ahead and do a little self-promotion here, ladies and gentlemen. I also host a monthly $450 tournament, the Dead in Month tournament. If you play in the North American region, you've probably heard about it or participated in it at some point. As of this February, this month, we are officially 2 years in the running, which makes us the longest running non-affiliated PUBG Mobile NA cash event that incorporates T1's T1 integration. It's the only opportunity for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 Open Scrim community to compete against the pros. Long story short. At least the only monthly opportunity. And in terms of overall events in North America, it's the second longest running, I believe. Falling secondary only to my main man Shredder's Rose League, started by Wicked himself. And then started by Wicked and just blossomed and groomed by the Shred Man himself, the Shreddy Bear. All right. Well, patience is a virtue for CAC. And realistically, guys, we don't have anything else to tune into at the moment. So, I don't often use this button, but the crickets are chirping here. Well, maybe not for long, as CAC prepares a utility here. Check. Okay, good. Thought I lost my mic for a sec. I mean, this is fitting that it's a snow map because this guy is snowballing kills. Just once he starts, he's like a can of Pringles. He just doesn't stop. As he acquires his 7th and the team's 11th, we see the final hope now for AWO, which is, the final hope here for, come on now. Sorry about that. The final hope here for the Monkeys, which is Eternal's laser, out of there. Boom goes the dynamite. CAC is unstoppable right now. That's being clipped for social media as well. Okay. So elsewhere, One Piece isn't too far off from the confrontation, but you know that we're hearing shots in the distance. So let's tune in. One Piece, the duo of X-Men and Last Dance, holding position with a little bit of a high ground advantage over members of Lorne Besties, Minami and her teammate. Not able to catch the line of sight just yet. Minami and Tryout, pardon me. X-Men getting a little bit closer. And guys, obviously I did decide to keep the stream running on Twitch as well, because the org was okay with it. So I figure may not make you guys have to migrate. But if you are watching on the Twitch, please, please, please do show some support to me by liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm desperately trying to hit 1,000 there so I can start monetizing on that platform as well. As a little bit of incentive, I will be doing probably around once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks, a day of UC custom rooms. But it will be broadcasted exclusively on the YouTube, and the only way to get paid out is by subscribing. So may as well beat the rush and go ahead and do it now, if you don't mind. So who is winning? Asked Alan Smith. Currently, as the overall scores stand, wow, that is so weird that it didn't update this time, but it was just updated before. Wow. Currently, we went over the overall standings at the beginning of the match. They're currently working on live updating, so that is the reason why the map looked like that. Luna Murph getting a takedown on Forex. Beautiful spray control. Not going to very likely be able to... behind a vehicle. Could be a vehicle explosion for a Thirst, but otherwise, it's going to be a tough one to acquire. And I think Murph knows it. Going to... cut the losses and try to work his or her way into zone. Ooh. Looks like the Lorne Bestie's having a bit of a conundrum as Minami is taken down at the hands of One Piece, leaving Tryout alone here. He wants the Thirst on Murph, but not getting it yet. Or the knock on Murph. Well, here we go. One Piece is literally now just a One Piece. And a no piece as Tryout 1v2s him. Wow, nicely done. Carry on the team name. Responsible for all 4 of the team's kills, but no time to waste. As Zero Monkeys push up to the party, it's going to be Aizen coming in for Warfare. Aizen is also a solo, so we got a 1v1 fair fight on our hands. Except we are hearing third-party shots, and Tryout gets another one. Guys, down to our final 7 teams, spread across 11 people. And, I mean, we could have almost expected to see the man himself here, Panda Boy, with an AWM, no less, 6x on it, aimed outwards at members of Silence, Dagas holding the rooftop. All right, a couple shots put outward, but that was enough shots to draw the attention of multiple oppositions. So now his location is more or less compromised. Pinda knows it. Hence, getting the vehicle and pulling a rotation, maybe even... I was going to say, if he does a split from his teammate, that would kind of explain why. Well, Tryout put up one hell of a performance, but ultimately eliminated off in the distance. And that's going to bring us down to our final 6 teams. We got members of Golo and Gola, Silence, Control. We got members of Semper Fidelis. We got members of FD. And then we got Galaxis. It's a 2v2, v2, v2, v1, v1 to end our 4th and final round. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that is, if you are just now tuning in, this is our 4th and our final round of the PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. Thank you for being here. All right, we are left with our final calm before the storm, so to speak. This last little bit of downtime before the action just culminates in all-out warfare, and these teams duke it out to decide who's going to win round 4. Getting an aerial view, it's a decent spread. CAC is inbound in vehicles and getting closer and closer to a 2-piece of Semper Fidelis. Could put him in a handicap situation where he's outnumbered. Ooh, now sandwiching himself between Semper Fidelis and members of Control. This could be a real peanut butter and Scrooge sandwich for him. He's falling back to, ironically, a tent that somehow blocks bullets, but it does. So, he's got his position in zone, and he's going to hold it. And as a solo, I think he's playing it perfectly. I mean, he has just gone all out in terms of kills. Ooh. My apologies. This is going to be Pindaboy and Kintang facing off against Control. Kintang is naded. Dropped like a bad habit. And Pinda risking it for a very dangerous revive and taking a lot of nade damage. Kintang is eliminated in the process. Pinda shot or naded down to about 1/5 of his overall health, but is able to get a little further behind this giant rock and heal himself up decently. He could use a boost, but in a breath of fresh air, an unintentional third party from Semper Fidelis, Hog and Glacier approaching Control from the south end. This could be the break that Pindaboy needs. Nades being cooked up left and right. Molly's as well. And Glacier is down and about to be thirsted if Hog can't get it. And I don't think there's a way he'll be able to stick this revive without being somewhat susceptible. And out he goes. That Hog, you know, I gotta say, it's a good thing I'm kosher because Pindaboy just went ham. I've been holding on to that kosher joke for like 2 weeks, and I totally messed it up in the process. Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate you. Nades are just raining down. It is a thunderstorm of nades. Pindaboy eliminated right then and there. And just like that, we are reduced down to our final 4 teams. We got Silence. We got Galaxis. Members of, pardon me, FD, and Control. It's a 2v2, v1v1 to end our 4th and final round. And shots being fired outbound and actually uphill by Dogus of Silence. That's probably not the best move because he finds himself vulnerable outside his zone and potentially going to be in the line of sight between not just CAC, but also both members of Galaxis. And given the high ground Control has, potentially them as well. Everyone on the board might be able to catch a line of sight. It's a good thing that he is enshrouding himself in this class, utilizing utilities effectively. Let's get a bird's eye. Oh, almost getting his opponent there. Dag is taking a lot of shots in retaliation, and look how close to Saint. Somehow, the DPS that proximity doesn't finish the job. But the play zone. Oh my gosh. Talk about a tough pill to swallow. Well, CAC doing what he does and just unleashing hellfire here. Gonna tune into him as he has 9 kills already on the board. The team's 13. Ridiculously aggressive performance, and boom, why not go for the double digit? 10 kills to CAC, 14 on the board for his team, and secured second place positioning at worst. So phenomenal performance by CAC of Freedom B, and I would be absolutely shocked if this wasn't exactly the performance that Freedom B needed to take that gold medal home. Well, he's gonna just leave nothing to chance, go full boost while he has the moment. And this truly is the final calm before the storm. CAC in a 1v1 scenario against Raven of Galaxis. And the Raven has been shot down, ladies and gentlemen. That is the conclusion. Any way you look at it, it's gonna be game over. And CAC on a berserker warpath, even as a solo, after his teammate J Tattoo eliminated, and let's not discredit Tattoo either, able to put up 4 kills before an early game elimination, but then CAC carrying on as a solo, basically diving into handicap fights, actively seeking out these 1v2 scenarios and just annihilating the playing field. I mean, it's very rare that you see that sort of consistency. And especially in the esports scene on a Vikendi map, just because it's, you know, Vikendi matches in the comp scene are few and far between. So this would be the least experienced of the maps today. But, you know, well, you can look at the numbers. They speak for themselves. The placement is there, but boy, he did not do it sitting idly. 15 kills, first place finish, absolutely phenomenal performance to end the night for Freedom B. Coming in silver medal, second place is going to be the 2-piece of Galaxis, Raven and Saint. Unfortunately for them, a big fat onion for kills. Coming in third is going to be Control, Bricked, and what's his name? 2 kills each, 4 total. Everybody eats. The Silence in fourth, being fairly silent this match with only 2 kills from Dagas. We got Gola and Gola, Pindaboy and Kintang, 5th place, 0 kills. We have Semper Fidelis, Glacier and Hog, 6th place, 0 kills. The Lorne Besties in 7th, with all 5 of their kills coming from tryout. We got Azen and Clot of the Zero Monkeys grabbing 7th with 5 kills, all of which go to tryout. 8th place going to belong, 9th place going to belong to One Piece, which is ironically a 2-piece of X-Men and Last Dance. 2 kills to the name, both of which go to X-Men. We got the Murphs, Smurf and Murph, in 10th place. I believe their team name is Dropkick Murphys. How fitting. With 2 kills from, you'll never guess, Murph. Well, we got Laser and Drippy coming in 11th. Unfortunately for them, not quite able to get any kills on the board this time around. 12th place going to go to Achilles and Titi with 2 kills from Achilles. We have the Eternals in this match going by AWO for their team name. And it's going to be 13th with 1 kill from Phoenix. The Illegales in 14th with 2. 1 to Illegal, 1 to Rapunzel. Everybody eats. 412s in 15th with 2 kills from Ray Ray. We got Veli and Gil in 16th this time around. No kills to speak of. Perlita in 44 in 17th with 1 kill from Perlita. And let's see, coming in 18th, it's going to be Ilea and That Kid with 2 kills from That Kid. The man, the myth, the legend, Metalcore, and Electra of Team Coda. They're going to be securing 19th with only 1 kill this time around. That's from Metalcore. But What a monster nade we saw from him. By the way, Metal, if you are watching and want that clip, you just hit me up. I labeled it and titled it so I can pick it out from the group if you want it. Well, we got a member of the Overhaul clan, which is Giant and Elmo, coming in 20th place with 1 kill from the Giant. The Lycans securing 21st this time, unfortunately, and with 0 kills. T2YO and Skull in 22nd with 0. We got Shy Boy and Limitless in 23rd with 0. The Old Gang having a tough go of it this time, in 24th with 1 kill from Kid Star. Bacon and Miss Cheese in 25th with 2 kills from Bacon. And finally, Wolfie and Weckham in 26 with 0. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the maps that we're going to cover today. That is all the action that we've got in store for you for the night. But stick around, because we're going to be back in just a few short moments to check out these overall scores. Let me actually hold up. It looks like the overall scores are ready as we speak. Let's have a look-see at the overall standings. Who's going to take home that first place? Moment of truth. I feel like Ryan Seacrest or something. The results are in. And Freedom B, you are the father. Yes, you are. Freedom B, Freedom B. Let me see here. Absolutely ridiculously well-deserved dub here by Freedom B as they secure it, literally doubling in terms of points this go around here. 25 points on the board just from this match alone here. Now, what about the overall standings? Let us see here. Bum-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum. I am working on it. Bear with me. This is a Excel spreadsheet that I am unfamiliar with here. And there we go. That's game 4. Huh. Final. Aha. So, it just highlights them. I see. So, yeah, Freedom, 25 points. We see Golo and Gola. They did get 2 chicken dinners tonight. I mean, they won half the matches. Only 6 points added on the board here for him in this final match. 0 monkeys getting that 5 points there. I'm not really sure why they're holding that. Give me one brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know that there is a way. I'm positive that we have the final scores here waiting for us. Here we go. As it stands, Freedom B, you are the father. Yes, Freedom B secures the dub with a total of 51 points on the board. A mere 6-point lead over our silver medal holders Control. Coming in third, it's going to be 0 monkeys with 43 points. Interestingly enough to note, Gola and Gola, even though they were able to secure half of the overall matches wins, they won half of them. But ladies and gentlemen, placement is not always going to be enough. And I think this is a case in point thing. With only 11 kills in total today, it just wasn't enough to even really get in the running of surpassing the likes of Freedom B. They find themselves 14 points shy. And that's going to, be a lesson, a takeaway for us, as we enter our 5th year of the PUBG Mobile competitive scene. And the scoring system being changed at the professional competitive level, it's going to emphasize a lot more kill-intensive strategy. And I think that we're going to be bound to see a lot of that moving forward, especially in the Tier 1 pro leagues. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more aggressive plays as we move forward to the future of PUBG Mobile esports. You got it, Metal. I'll send it right on over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I play you my sexy, sexy little metal music as my outro, this has just been an honor and pleasure getting to cast the PUBG Mobile Love at First Sight Duo Tournament Finals. If you're not aware who I am, I'm RedEyes. I am known for being a caster, commentator, and personal game streamer in the PUBG Mobile NA community. and I'm live every single day. But more importantly, I host a monthly $450 tournament called the Dead Month Tournament. If you're on Twitch, !Discord, and if you are on YouTube, I will paste the link. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to get out of everyone's hair here, play a couple highlights, but it's been an honor and pleasure. And until next time, have a good one. Deuces. Getting to a position of cover on the staircase. He's going to wait for fire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 16 people spread across 10 teams here, and only one team occupies the zone. So far, only Gola and Gola have been able to get to their positioning here. Illegal taking a pretty heavy hit as he tries to fire outward at the opposition in Monkeys. And it looks like Monk well know in PUBG Mobile esports are few and far between. So my acquaintance with color memory is, team colors, very minimal after the first 10 teams. But Illegales, legal, eliminating the threat right here and there. M4 against the looming threat of Team 29. This is, of course, original gang. Ooh, Star is down and out. Dropped like a bad habit, leaving everything riding on Jasa, and Jasa alone, ready and equipped with that 6x DP and revenge served cold and fast, ladies and gentlemen. For combo, double tack stalking. Ooh, Eternal's Phoenix going off in the distance, and their altercation with the likes of Lorne Besties. And unfortunately for the Besties, they are out of the equation, with Phoenix responsible for all 4 of the team's kills. Preemptive smokes here, trying to enshroud his, rotation route into zone in a cloud of smoke, but I don't think he accounted for the threat to his side, which was, of course, the Lorne, and clearly not. He was eliminated in the process. Luna going off. Hey, it's Jasa of the old gang getting a takedown. Murph taking down somebody as well here, but Bacon does get the wolf out of there as the wolf tried to hop through the window. Bacon ended that real quick. And Hellfire being thrown, leave everything riding on Raven, and Raven alone to carry on the team name. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Raven trying desperately to capture and escape here using the vehicle, but ooh, is it going to be enough? That vehicle is smoking, and ooh, it was just a matter of moments that separated Raven from life and death. And two, it's going to be the likes of Guita Gede. P2IO trying to fire at Keen on that kid, but the molly rains on him. It's going to be on Skull. He does get the retaliation on Ilea, but ooh, that kid shooting him down to about 10% of his health, and that finishes the job. Said earlier. All right, well, Phoenix not finding himself with much health in his name, but he does have some meds. He's going to try to utilize them now. Tuning in briefly to Team Control, working their way onto Galaxis. It's Raven and Saint down. Ooh, the nade almost retaliated after they were eliminated. Distance. It's P2YO. I'm not sure. There we are. Members of 23 here. It's Skull and T2IO as Skull is taken down, leaving everything riding on Azen. It's directed towards Metalcore and Electric. Oh, the drawback Saint from Galaxis just wrecked into, and that is the end of the Saint for that round. Clock now, wasting no time focusing on Eternal's Phoenix. He does get the takedown. So is Bacon, and that meal is ended. That's a clean plate for Kid Star as he finishes that and gets himself the first kill for the team. Desperately in need of some heals, while Jasa is taken down. Star has no time to